Hello there, it's another Bangkok ChitChat with Andrew Sloan and myself, Andy Francis, and today a topic that is quite serious. It's not really humorous. We're going to just quickly talk about the coronavirus. There were a lot of jokes going on about it when it first came, and I feel a bit guilty. Did you see the one I said with the Corona beer box on his head?
One I did see was where they had the Heineken, yeah, and about 20 bottles there, and there was a little Corona at the end.
Oh, really?
It was all on its own.
Well, and I just started the video saying, now this is a serious one, but you know, there's always a light-sided one. But we're going to take a look at what it is, symptoms, how does it spread, general stats, some local stats, prevention and treatment, and a bit of a summary at the end. Okay, so what is it? A virus, first of all. What's a virus? It's a microscopic parasite which can infect living organisms and cause disease. It can make copies of itself inside another organism's cell. So it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Coronavirus, COV, are a large family of viruses. There's not just one. There's a load of coronaviruses. This one has got a number as well, but we won't go into that. There's that Middle East respiratory syndrome,
You got it out there,
which
okay.
is MERS, COV, and there's severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, which we all know about. I mean, do you remember when SARS was
So these
here?
are all related, yeah?
Yeah, they're all in a coronavirus.
Right.
They're all in the same family, as it
Right,
were. So,
okay.
do you remember the SARS one?
Yes, yes.
Similar to the way people are reacting to it
Same
here.
sort of
I would
panic,
say. Yeah. All right. So this one is called a novel, I guess, Novel, novel, meaning it's a new coronavirus.
Right.
So it's called NCOV, and there is no cure for it at the moment. There's no remedy. There's no vaccine.
Right.
And that's
okay,
what
okay.
causes what's so frightening. It's not like, everyone in the days of the old TB injections. You remember the vaccinations when you were a kid? You just go down to the local doctor and everyone will get one, and then they're done.
Yeah, but here's a question. You've got SARS, yeah, with a
Yeah.
big panic, yeah. Was there any vaccine for that? And it seems, but it's gone off the radar
Well,
now.
that's very true. Now, my mate Ricky, he always gets flu once a year because there is a flu season, I think,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whether it's now or not, it's to do with the wind and now whatever. And he takes gets an inoculation, a flu jab, they called.
Yeah.
Now, I'm beginning to think why, because if it's one that cures the flu, because there's a new strains coming out all the time.
That's correct,
So I don't know. We should maybe we didn't go into that because basically
the people that are getting the coronavirus,
Yeah.
from what I understand is the people who are dying from it are basically old people with respiratory problems, smokers,
Yeah.
and very young.
Well, because we're trying to keep it humorous. I found that statistic, and I'm talking to my neighbour about it where I live, and I'm going, "Oh, so it's young kids and the elderly." So yeah, I'm okay. Oh shit, am I elderly? You know, when do you become? So I started to read up on it, but no, you automatically think you're young, don't you? And go,
Yeah.
yeah, well, not young. Yeah, so you don't think you're in that category. All right then. So symptoms of it. Basically, it's just flu symptoms.
Yeah.
So, you know, we all know what they are, I guess. Where are they? Fever, cough, shortness of breath, sneezing, runny nose, fatigue, and a sore throat.
Right.
Now, my wife went down with all those symptoms about 6 days ago, and she went to the doctors, because we do, and she works for an airline.
Right.
So we were, really sort of concerned.
But the back office, not on the plane.
Yeah, back office. But, hostesses frequently at the hallways and all that. But very, very quickly, she ended up with, and I don't know too many details, so I don't, as I say, we are not doctors, right? This is just what we've researched online, which you can do, and we're just passing the information on. But she got tested and she had flu A.
Right.
And that's a type of bird flu.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, that reminds me, this virus can go through animals.
Right.
So do you remember bird flu? Was that
Yeah.
SARS? SARS was called bird
think so,
flu,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
So birds so that's why they called it bird flu. So your dogs can get it and pass it on. So
don't kiss your dog.
we'll get a mask for the dog. I saw a picture on Facebook of a mask
On
for
that
dogs.
point with masks, the shortage of masks
Yes.
is unbelievable.
I know.
So I know that Thailand was kind enough to donate thousands and thousands of masks to China.
Yeah.
But there seems now to be a shortage, and to the point they're now actually putting price controls on masks. Yeah. In Thailand.
So it's like,
people
it's like the
not
hoarding thing,
profiteering.
isn't it? You know, when
That's right,
when
yeah.
there's a commodity is in demand, or the price is going to go up, the shops don't sell it.
That's right.
Until the price has gone up, and then they sell it.
Yeah, or they're
So-
just demanding it, supply,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
supply and demand. But
that's interesting.
There's a real shortage of masks, but that comes on to what we're talking about, solutions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are saying that masks are not required, and you.
Well, yeah, we're going to get that to it in a minute. So we've done the symptoms. So how does it spread, which is pretty important. But I think most of you know how it's spread. I mean, viruses are spread from person to person or animals, depending on what strain, mainly in droplets that fly out when you cough or sneeze. These tiny drops from a sick person move through the air and land on the mouth or noses of others nearby, or is on their hands because they've touched them. So they've gone like this, and then they shake your hand, or they've touched that, and then you've touched that, and you put it to your mouth.
Well, I was actually out last night, and someone turned around and said, I went, oh, how are you? And you the guy, how are you? Oh, we can't shake hands now. Yeah. So people are really, really obsessed with it.
Yes, which, well, we'll get to the summary of it, but I think that's good.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the AIDS epidemic. You know, people didn't even know what AIDS was, you know, and they weren't using condoms and things.
I've just been to Australia, as you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
And then I went to Laos. Yeah. Now, in Australia, you don't see many people wearing masks. But when I went to Chinatown, a lot of people, this is in Sydney, a lot of people were wearing masks. Yeah. Now, in Australia, they were actually checking temperature. Now, the problem with that is that the person who has got it, it takes 14 days, and this is a danger, 14 days to be detected.
Yes.
So people are coming in, and maybe they have it, and they can spread it, but they don't know until 14 days.
Yeah.
So what Australia has done to quarantine this is they're taking people, and I think it was the Chinese were coming across, and putting them on Christmas Island and putting them under quarantine for 14 days.
What is Christmas Island?
It's an island off Australia.
I thought it was an island. All right.
So
we won't go into the Christmas bit. That's for another show.
But in Singapore, when I flew into Singapore, they had people testing. Yeah.
All right.
For if you had a fever. Yeah. In Laos, it was we went to Luang Prabang. Yeah. And they had a guy basically sleeping. Yeah. And that was it. And in Laos, there was
airport?
very few people, very few people wearing masks.
In Laos?
In Laos, Luang Prabang, yeah.
It's funny because...
so few Chinese.
Well, we'll get to the figures in a moment. You'll see where that came from. But it's funny because I read on Thai Visa or The Nation or somewhere that someone was complaining, you know, at Dong Mueang and Suvarnabhumi, you know, with the handprints things. They weren't cleaning them. And we've just said that's how
they still are not. When I went through, you have to put your fingers to get. I don't like it in the first place. I think you shouldn't need to do it, but follow the rules. You do fingerprints,
much
etc.
choice,
But you see all the marks. And I saw on another booth the cleansing fluid. Yeah. But where I was, and all the other ones that I saw, there was no cleansing fluid.
And you do touch, I've noticed, which is a good thing now, I'm monitoring hand movements. You do touch your mouth with your hands a lot. Yeah. You do. Not for any particular reason,
your
really.
nose or whatever.
I know. I'm kissing. It's probably dead off the scale.
Yeah, we don't get much of that anymore. So.
Well, I won't be kissing you. All right, well, stats. All right, going by, I mean, there's been total deaths, 1,000. This is from the 11th of February when we did the research. So this is going out whenever. So it's 6-7 days old now. We're either all dead and no one be watching
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly. 1,018 deaths. Cases worldwide, 43,101. Now, out of those 1,018 fatalities, China is 1,016.
Right.
And most of them from Wuhan. How do you say it? The place where it all came from? Wuhan?
I'll let you make a fool of yourself. I won't even try.
Yeah, Woolham or something like that. That's where it started from.
Yeah, it sounds like a place in England the way you say it.
Durham, Woolham. Yeah, that's ground zero as well. Hong Kong, 1 fatality, and the Philippines, 1. Right. Cases in Thailand from the date of press here, 32 cases, no fatalities.
Yeah. So they got, in Thailand, the 32, 9 are Thais.
Yeah, okay.
And 23 are Chinese. with 10 having returned home and 22 in hospital.
Right.
So that was as of the 10th of February.
It's funny, just going back to my wife, because we took her to hospital, I was expecting like, well, we better go early, dear, because there's going to be thousands of people. It was empty.
Yeah.
The hospital, because I suppose people don't go, if they have another ailment, say like, I'm not non-flu related, they go, well, I ain't going to hospital, because that's where all the coronavirus is.
Anywhere, we were talking about the masks before, anywhere that there's crowds,
yeah,
you should be wearing your mask.
Airports.
Thing is, Bangkok is quite unique because we've got a serious problem with the quality of the air in the first place.
Well, I know.
So people are wearing masks on the basis of really rancid air.
Yeah.
So I think maybe people have carried on.
Well, just a quick one, because we did a mask one on a previous show, didn't we? And when I was wearing one.
Yeah.
There's two different types of masks. One for stop you getting infected from viruses, which are those flimsy ones, which are more comfortable
surgical
to wear.
masks,
yeah. And when I go for my walk, and it's in the red, the pollution thing, I wear it's a P2 point. What's it called? P2. PM 2.5. Thank you so much. PM 2.5. Yeah, and that's a much more strict affair. So I was wearing this one in the hospital, and it's got a metal thing here, and I started getting dizzy with it, and so the flimsy ones are easy to wear.
Next thing you know, you fall over, they pick you up. Oh, you got coronavirus. 14 days.
Right, prevention. I mean, I'm just saying what I've researched. All right, a lot of you going, oh, it's obvious. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Okay. Yeah, but then my wife was sick, and it was difficult. She wore a mask in the house.
But you are a loving husband. You would die for her in sickness and in health.
Very good. Till death us do part.
Yeah, wasn't that a television program back in the UK?
You silly moo. You silly old moo. Avoid touching your eye. Now avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Stay home when you're sick. Now, when I worked on a radio station, a guy came in, a DJ, and he was sick, and he got told off by the program director for saying, "Why have you come in?" He said, "Well, I want to, work because I don't want to let you down." He said, "Oh yeah, and you're on a mic." So he almost got fired for coming in for being ill. Go home.
Can you imagine how many people are taking sickies just now?
Great. Yeah.
Whole factories have been shut down.
I got a bit of a cough. I think my wife got 3 days off for her flu A, type A, but I should imagine if you've got the corona, you would be hospitalised because they wouldn't want you walking around anywhere, right? Well, no, is that what you think?
I think that's correct. If somebody is sick,
no
matter whether it's this or anything else, and it can be transferred.
Well, so my wife's one could, but they let her out. What I'm saying is because it was normal flu.
Even if it was normal flu, I think you don't turn up at work and
No, but they let her out of the hospital. My point I'm saying is, if it had been corona, God, thank God not, she wouldn't have been allowed to leave the hospital, right?
See, what you should...
You're not answering my question.
Yeah, that's correct. They wouldn't.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Right. So I was just something went through my mind. You imagine calling up your boss and
He's still on this bit.
Hey, boss, I've got a corona. Oh, don't come to work. Oh.
Right, I'll have another one, John. Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, so she wouldn't have been allowed out if she'd had the corona. She would have been in isolation ward, yeah?
Yes, talking about 14 days.
Right, right. Now another one. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash. Like not a handkerchief, they say. A tissue. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces using a regular household cleaning spray or wipe. So cleaning surfaces and all that makes sense. Now, CDC's, which don't forget, CDC is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Can I just a couple of other things?
Yeah.
So also, some places we're talking about have the cleanser. You just wash your hands.
Alcohol.
But the suggestion is to actually take some wipes, like baby wipes or Dettol wipes or something like that, to clean. And I find I wash
I like
my hands
that
all
stuff.
The
The good stuff,
but
which disappears,
it's difficult to
doesn't make them
carry
sticky.
around.
Oh yeah, but most shops have them now, don't they?
Some places,
hard to carry around, yeah.
I mean, I was out last night at the Foreign Correspondents Club, and they didn't have any, there, which I was surprised at. But not blaming you guys, everyone's got their own responsibility.
What's the beer prices like at the FCCT?
I'm not going into that. That's not fair. Because it was a great night and it was a great venue. It really was.
Anyway, so CDC's recommendations for using face masks. Yeah, you done?
No. Oh. So when you're taking your mask off, this is people have been saying how to wear your mask. Yeah? So when you're taking your mask off, you don't take it off here because that's where you can collect the germs. Yeah? You take it off like that. Yeah, from there. And
do it again. You look so effeminate when you did that. He did, didn't he?
So you take it off like, and they're not reusable. Throw it out. So
now that I didn't know. Are you sure? Because they're not cheap.
No, but you should be throwing it out because the virus lasts for at least 5 hours on a surface or on the item. And when I came back from my sister's a nurse and she's really into this and she's seriously concerned, and doctors she knows are really concerned about this.
Because of how it can spread, you see.
Yes, because it's crossing borders. But so basically, take your mask off. Also, when you come in, if you've been in the SkyTrain or whatever it is, take off your clothes and go for a shower.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the first, which you should do anyway, just to relax. Yeah. So that's 2 things. Yeah. So change your clothes, touching surfaces we've discussed, and so that's
okay.
basically
Well, CDC, and this we said off air, I couldn't understand, and I had to recheck it because it didn't make sense to me. Recommends that people who are well, does not recommend that people who are well wear face masks to protect themselves from respiratory
And this
viruses.
is part of the reason why, when I'm saying is people are taking it off like that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I agree.
Because imagine you've got it, you don't know, which is the most dangerous scenario that everyone's frightened of, is you've got it and you don't know about it. And don't forget, you're often contagious before the symptoms.
Yes.
A couple of days sometimes.
Yes.
All right, so you can be, lovely, and you got it. And you sneeze and I'm not wearing a mask because I'm healthy, then you can give it to me. But if I'm wearing a mask, but they recommend that if you are well and haven't got any symptoms, don't wear a face mask.
Well, I've seen in Bangkok
that
that some people, a lot of Thais, which I'm surprised at, are not wearing a mask. Another thing is food. We were discussing this off camera, where you should, when you get, because we've got lots of dishes,
it's been disinfected.
Each spoon, should be used individually for that, and you put it in, then you eat. But some people
as well,
some people are actually going in with their spoon.
Yeah, well, we do that in the family. We know with chopsticks, right?
You shouldn't do it anyway, because
you
can catch other
true
diseases as well.
It's true.
But that was one family who all got it because they shared a hot pot.
Yeah.
So it's things we should be doing anyway. We get a bit lazy to do, but we're more aware.
And this actually is a nice segue into the last thing that seems to come up in anything that I've read. It's wash your hands regularly with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. And I tried it. 20 seconds. You do it and you go like this and you. And it takes about 20 seconds to do it. I mean, I have often, you go for a wee and then you show your hands to the water more or less. You just and towel, and don't ever use a towel in the gents or ladies. Do ladies have those towels?
Oh yeah. Well, you don't see this moment paper towels. And
well, they say and those heated ones as well. They reckon they're like a what do you call it?
The fans,
You know the ones you put your hands in, or the fans, They say the bacteria is all up there because it's nice and warm, and then blows all onto your hands. Oh, you've never heard that?
I didn't heard that, no.
Yeah, so there'll be other people who can research and say, no, they're perfectly okay. But
maybe you just get a bloody bag and just walk in a bag. That's it.
I got a good one. Lock yourself in your house. Don't go out. All right, so that's that. Got anything more on prevention? I think we've cleared that.
Well, what they were talking about is because there's no
cure for this.
What they're talking about is people who who have had it and have come out and they're okay and they've rebuilt their immunity. That they can, with the blood from that's what they're looking to.
Because when you catch people, it's like an inoculation, isn't it? When you get inoculated for measles, they actually put the measles virus into your body.
Yes.
So you get the antibody build-up to protect yourself.
So that's what we're talking about. Basically building an immunity. This is one area that actually. Oh God. Anyway, I'm babbling. Okay.
Okay, right, so we've got to move on because we've done our 20 minutes here. There is no specific antiviral treatment recommended for this. People infected with it should receive supportive care to help relieve symptoms. I guess like paracetamol for headaches, for fever, to bring your fevers down. etc. In severe cases, treatment must include care to support vital organs. But by then, I think you're in hospital and don't have to worry about it. But if you've got like flu, that they gave us some to bring a fever down, because the fever makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, also anyone who's diabetic, this is serious as well, because with diabetes you drop your immune system and also affects your organs, and so you're at higher risk, just like smoking.
All right, summary.
All right.
Do you want to do the ferry one, but very quick?
Well, what's happening with this, there's a ferry, it's been moving around. They tried to get into Taiwan, Japan, Philippines, Guam. They've been rejected. It's called the West Ham
HMS
Cruiser.
HMS Corona.
Yeah, and it's now going to Chinookville. There's 2,257 people who want to disembark, and nobody will allow them to disembark. What is weird is Australia have got Christmas Island, and so anyone they see it as being a risk, they put on Christmas Island for 14 days quarantine. My question, with all the UN and things like that, we know there's been multitudes of different viruses going around. Can the world not have a particular area where you can put people?
Do you think it's overblown? Do you think people? I think it's overblown in a good way, because people will be that extra bit careful. Like you just said, I'm washing my hands more than I've ever done.
I think no, I don't think it's overblown. I think it's in two ways. You can see it's an education for generally adjusting your style of living. Yeah. But they just don't know about the development and how to manage
the possibilities are frightening.
Very frightening.
If it goes unchecked, it could wipe out the population.
Yeah, well, some people turn and say, "Oh, wait a minute, how many people die in the world of flu? And there's only this."
Yeah. And road accidents.
Yes, but look at the spread, the speed of the spread, and the world reaction to this. This isn't for nothing. Yeah?
Even in we're recording this, it will go out a week later. These figures could change, and you'll see how quickly or how slowly. If it's not increasing that much, then precautions are being made and working.
Well, another indicator is business. Business is there to make money, and they'll do anything to make their money. So how is it? Just a few examples. Yeah, top telephone conference close to cancellation in Barcelona. This is stating all over the world. Hong Kong Sevens, massive. Yeah, postponed. Tata Motors and Jaguar Land Rover unit closed down until February 17th. How they can put a date in this, I'm not too sure. Chinese Grand Prix, makes sense. Yeah, Chinese Grand Prix, postponed. Yeah. BMW, they're going to be opening their factories. A lot of factories have closed down, and this has affected their business because basically the supply chain has been affected. Yeah, now, if they don't have backup. Yeah.
So this is something you wouldn't think about normally, but business will be affected.
Oh, it's seriously affected. Thailand, I know 7 events that have been closed down. The roads in Bangkok, because of the buses not being there just now, especially in Statistical, are fantastic.
What buses? Oh, you mean the tour buses?
Yeah, they all went to Esplanade,
so
the train market. Yeah. So it's quiet. And Pattaya is totally
I want to talk about Pattaya. Well, there we are. I hope that's been of some use.
Yep.
It has for me, and let's practice that, because we don't, we want the world to carry on. Doomsday.
We don't want to die.
We're all going to die, Mr. Mannering. Anyway, okay. Before we go, we've got a video already out. It's called Pattaya, Is It Finished or something?
Yeah.
Is it finished? It's caused a few ripples already.
Which we expected.
Which is great. So if you haven't seen it, and in fact, I've got a couple of comments here which I'd like to read, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
This one comes from Peter E. You sitting down? Oh, you are. So painful to watch these two uninformed Brits waffling on about Pattaya. In Australia, we call them whinging Poms. What are they defining as Pattaya? There is so much more than Beach Road. These Pommies just
I don't think you watched the whole thing.
Speak crap. Well, because I did go on about Beach Road, because I am a tourist when I go there, and I go to a beach resort, because that is Pattaya. Because for me, if I'm in Middle Road or Top Road, I could be in any town in Bangkok, in Thailand, anywhere. So the beach is, for me, makes it a beach resort. But you were banging on about how big Pattaya is and how
the water park,
yes, and the dark side and everything. So Peter, thanks very much for your comment, and we look at them all the time. So that's great. And there's a couple of others. Oh, David Peters. So basically, families in Jomtien and Pattaya is party place. Well, that's what you were saying.
That's what I think, yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And we've got one more here from John Watson. And John says, I went to work in Thailand in 2003 for a tourism company. Shortly after arrival, I went for a few days to Pattaya. I recall a hotel sales chap, he knows who he is, telling me how clean the sea was and what a great family destination it was. After that first visit, I was promoting Hua Hin for families and hygiene. I'm not sure what the answer is for Pattaya. Maybe there is none, and they just have to keep making money any way they can. It's sad, really. So thank you, John, for that. Thank you for everybody that has commented so far. If you want to comment, you just comment on the bottom of the video. It will be on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll select a readout.
Or on Facebook, and we'll select a readout.
Yeah.
And that's it. And if you like what you see, then please like. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new, then please subscribe, because it helps us do more in the future.
Yes.
So that's it. Keep safe.
See you later. You want a Corona?
Yes, please.